I saw Cat Zorro recently, and it was actually kind of surprisingly good. When I saw the trailers, I thought this looks kind of interesting, this could be cool, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as it was. I mean, the worst thing I can say about the movie is that there's just a lot of dumb cliche shit in it. Some of it holds it back really bad, but some of it isn't too big of a deal. Like the little dog sidekick character, I didn't really care for him. I didn't think he was all that funny. He was more just annoying. And I talked to a couple of people about it, and they seemed to really like him and think like, oh, his story was so sad, but oh my god.
Do me a favor. Shut the fuck up.
I just couldn't get into it. And he's not terrible as a character or anything, he's just kind of annoying. Also, the whole learning to love your found family thing is pretty cliche with Goldilocks and the three bears. I like the concept that she's like an adopted child in the family. That was a cool little like twist with that old fairy tale story. Also concerning Goldilocks and the three bears, I liked that Goldilocks and Mama Bear had an especially good bond. Everything Mama Bear had was just right, so Goldilocks got along with her especially well. I just thought that was a cool little subtle detail, but really all the bears don't have a whole lot going on. Goldilocks a bit more interesting though. But Puss's character arc is something that's been done time and time again, and it still works really well here. Our overly cocky main hero who pushes people away from him because he wants to be the hero and live out the legend and everything. That's a pretty cliche thing, but they still do it very well. The end of the movie when he's tearing up and basically confronting his own mortality is pretty nice. I mean, Puss is very clearly the best character in this movie to me, right alongside Death. He's not super deep or interesting or has some great big motivation behind everything. He just hates that Puss keeps avoiding death and takes life for granted. And he's a super intimidating villain. Every time you start hearing that whistle, you're like, oh shit.
I gotta get out of here!
Jack Horner was also pretty fun. Once again, not super deep or anything, and unlike Death, he doesn't really tie into Puss's arc in any way. But whenever they cut to him and they have a scene with him, I'm still pretty happy. He's pretty goofy and they got some good jokes with him in the movie. For the role that he needed to serve in the story, I feel like he played it pretty well. The animation in this movie is really good, same with the art style. This new, more choppy sort of style they're going for that they used in the Bad Guys as well looks pretty great, especially for action scenes. Anyway, this was a pretty solid movie overall. 8 out of 10. Shrek 5, after this, you better not be doo-doo.
Okay,